Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue, and I'm the black powder editor for Guns of the Old West magazine. And today we're going to be taking a look at Century International Arms 1873 Peacemaker clone. So this is a copy of the Colt Single Action Army, and it's imported by Century Arms in St. George, Vermont. And the interesting thing is, of course, Century Arms is much better known for surplus firearms. So this is their first real foray into the cowboy market. The gun is made by Pietta in Italy, and it's a very high quality 6-gun, so let's take a look at it. Well, we'll give you a good look at Century International Arms Single Action Revolver. This is a Colt Single Action Army clone copy, as I've told you. And it's a very close reproduction of the actual Colt. A lot of the parts will fit interchangeably. This replica is made by Pietta, and they're one of my favorite replica makers when it comes to pistols. The finish is like the originals, has a blued barrel, blued ejector, housing, blued cylinder, trigger guard, backstrap. The frame is color case hardened, as is the hammer and the trigger. So it's a pretty handsome piece. It's got one-piece walnut grips, and they're pretty attractively done. And this is a pretty accurate revolver. Besides my black powder loads, I've shot this gun with several different brands of factory smokeless ammo. And the best performer I found so far is Black Hill's 230 grain Schofield ammo. As you can see, it turns in some pretty good groups. Well, a Century International Arms Single Action Army is a classic single action clone. So it loads by putting it on half cock, so the cylinder will spin. And then we're going to load 5 shells for safety. So I'm going to load 1, I'm going to skip a chamber, and load the other 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I pull the hammer all the way back, you can see we've got an empty chamber under the hammer. So I can put it down, and this gun is perfectly safe. Well, Evil Roy is downrange, itching for a fight. So let's give him what for with the Century International Arms Single Action Revolver. Most of the importers tell me that the 5.5-inch barrel length is their most popular seller on Single Action Army clones. And that was also the case in the 19th century. The 5.5-inch barrel length was very popular, and it was used by people on both sides of the badge. In fact, the Dalton gang all carried custom engraved 5.5-inch barrel revolvers when they did their raid on Coffeyville. And Fred Dodge, who's famous now as an undercover Wells Fargo agent, and a good friend of Wyatt Earp, carried a 5.5-inch barreled single action that he loaned to Wyatt at the start of the Vengeance Ride. Now, after the turn of the 19th century, the Arizona Rangers were formed, and they were issued 5.5-inch barreled Colts by the territorial government to clean up the bandit problem. So, just like now, it was a pretty popular barrel length then as well. We'll finish up with a bad guy's view of Century Arms Pietta 1873 single action.